Good morning. Today we'll start conic section. Now by name conic section. Conic section means what? By name it is understandable that if you cut a cone in various axes, you will get some portion, you will get a circle. The base is a circle. You will get some portion like this. You will get some portion like this also. These are what? These are actually what? Conic section. Means cutting from cone in various axes. Now, in our course, there are 4 conic sections. One we call circle, another we call parabola, another we call ellipse, and another we call hyperbola. Before going details of parabola, ellipse, hyperbola, circle already, parabola, ellipse, first of all, you have to know some definition of conic section. You have to know some definition of conic section. Now, what are the definition? Number 1. In a conic section, there will be a fixed point. The name of that fixed point is focus. There will be a fixed line. Name of that fixed line is directrix. Fixed point, focus, fixed line, directrix. Number 3, this is a fixed line and say this is a fixed point. And this is a line perpendicular to the fixed line and passing through the fixed point. Perpendicular to the fixed line and passing through the fixed point known as axis of a conic section. Next, a conic section. Say a conic section. Say this is a conic section. Meet the axis at some point. Known as vertex. So what we got till now? Focus, fixed point. Directrix, fixed line. Axis, line passing through the fixed point and perpendicular to the fixed line. Passing through the fixed point, perpendicular to the fixed line. Or passing through the focus, perpendicular to the directrix, known as axis. The portion at which, or point at which, conic section intersect axis known as vertex. Even intersect at more than one point, it will be vertices. Similarly, if there are two or more than two directrix, then we will call directrices. Fixed point, we will call foci, F-O-C-I. Okay. Now, number 5, eccentricity. Now, what is eccentricity? Perpendicular, fixed point. Now, say there is a conic section. From conic section to fixed point, you take the distance. And from this conic section to fixed line, take the distance, perpendicular distance. Say this one is F. Say this one is P. And say this one is M. Again, say conic section is like this. Say for example, this is like this. Now this is a point on conic section. Now from this point to fixed point, from this point to fixed line, you take the ratio. This is nothing but what? This is nothing but E or eccentricity. Means eccentricity is ratio between point on a conic section to the fixed point and point on a conic section to the fixed line. Distance of point on a conic section to the fixed line nothing but what? Eccentricity. Okay. So, this is eccentricity. Now you come. Now in circle we know there is a chord. In conic section also there is a chord. Chord is what? Joining any 2 points of a conic section, like circle joining any 2 points of a circle. This is a chord. Okay. Now if this chord, say this is the axis. If this chord, if this chord passing through the fixed point, say this is the fixed point. If this chord passing through the fixed point, chord, it is also a chord, passing through the fixed point, known as focal chord. Known as focal chord. And if this chord passing through the fixed point and perpendicular to the axis, passing through the fixed point and perpendicular to the axis, known as chord passing through the fixed point and perpendicular to the axis, known as what? Known as directrix. Okay. So these are some basic points of a conic section. Then, now, first conic section in our course. The first conic section is parabola. Now, what is parabola? How we get parabola? I have defined you about eccentricity from fixed point, from any point to the fixed point distance, then from that point to the fixed line distance. Ratio is nothing but eccentricity. Here, in this case, say this is a fixed line and this is a fixed point. This is a fixed line and this is a fixed point. Now, what is parabola? In case of parabola, you take a point. Whatever be the distance with the fixed point, take a point. Whatever be the distance to a fixed point, same distance to a fixed line. Now this time is what? PF equal to PM. PF equal to PM. That is PF by PM equal to what? 1. And what is PF by PM? Nothing but eccentricity. Eccentricity equal to 1. E equal to 1. So in case of a parabola, E equal to what? 1. Now this is one point. You take another point, same point. Same another point. This distance same. Take another point here. Say here. Distance same. This same. This distance same. This distance same. Now if you collect all this point, a figure you will get. That figure is nothing but what? That is nothing but parabola. So what is parabola? Locus of a point whose distance from fixed point equal to distance from fixed line. Locus of a point, locus means path, whose distance from fixed point is equal to fixed line, known as what? Known as parabola. Now this may be, now if I take this one as origin, and this is not this one origin, sorry, 1 minute, not this one origin, this one is x-axis, and say, let me draw this here, actually this one, this point, let me draw again. I am drawing it again. Now, actually this is the fixed point, fixed line, and this is your fixed point. Now you see this distance, say this distance same. This is a rough diagram, it may not look like same. Say this distance, it not look like same, but these two distance must be equal. These two distance must be equal. Now, this point, this we'll call origin. When this is the axis, this we will call origin. This is x-axis, and this is say y-axis. This is the fixed line. This is not the fixed line. This one is the fixed line. Okay. So there are, now this can be like this, or it can be like this also, if the fixed line is this side. Not necessarily the fixed line will be left hand side of the y-axis. It may be right hand side of the y-axis. Fixed point is in this side. So this is another one. Not necessarily that x-axis is the axis. It may be y-axis. So it may be this side also. Or it may be this one also. Okay? You got my point? Now, what are the equation of 4 types of parabola are there? What are the equation? What are the various, what is focus? What is directrix? What is axis? We'll discuss in next class. Okay?